Alright guys, that was the sound test for the Noxary 268.2, and honestly it sounds and feels fantastic. As per the norm with this, we're going to give our three kind of thoughts here, being our general thoughts on the sound profile, and the build process. So build process wise, this was actually a very easy build. We did opt for the PCB without any other underglow, because some of these do actually come with underglow, being the white PCBs, but we got the red one. And as you can tell, it built together really nicely. One thing to note is these brass badges on the back, the weights, do not come with this patina. This is actually a secondhand model, so this does have a bit of patina to it. Usually these would come very clear, but I quite like it. I think it gives it some character, and I am in love. Now, we did opt for the 5mm brass plate, which is a mouthful to say, by the way. How many takes I've had to do with this is crazy, which you can actually see right over here, so it doesn't really leave any room for gaps, which does help a lot, I find, with the vibration in this. It does sound really good, even though we have that thick, chunky boy inside there. It does add a lot of weight to it. I'm unsure the weight. I don't have a proper scale at the moment. None of the scales I buy ever work correctly. I need to invest in a good one, obviously. But I quite like it, even with the 5mm brass plate. The only issue I came into building this was because, again, this is a bit of an older model and it's been used before. The polycarbonate did have a bit of a warp to the top. Now, when you screw it together, you really can't tell. I didn't notice at all. You really can't see there being a warp. It was predominantly in the front over here, which is now completely closed off. Again, I thought it was interesting to note. Not probably going to happen to a brand new unit. And we kind of already touched upon sound, but sound-wise, I think it sounds fantastic. I wish the spacebar was a bit more thocky, but honestly, the whole entire build sounds and feels really good. I thought this would feel very stiff for having such a thick plate inside of it. It is a little bit rigid, but it's not as stiff as I thought it would be, if that even kind of makes sense. It is very fun to type on. I like the angle of the keyboard. I like everything about it. I think the polycarbonate case adds a very nice sound profile with that very thick, chunky plate inside of it. And I really dig the sound overall. And we did use Gateron black inks inside this, and it's been a daily driver of mine for about a week now. So I have consistently typed on this, and I do work from home at the moment with COVID going on. So this has been a fantastic daily for me. And I quite like the keycaps too. I think Olivia with the dark base goes very well with that pink polycarbonate case, which is very subtle, but you can kind of tell, which is another plus for me. And now the fun part, kind of my other thoughts and opinions on this. I'm in love with this keyboard. I honestly really wanted a pink polycarbonate one, and I happened to see someone getting rid of this on Mech Market, I guess clearing their closet, something like that. Had to pick it up. Absolutely fantastic. I am so in love. Some other things to note, which really wasn't too much about build construction, but I did notice with the screws, they did have to replace a whole bunch of screws, was it looks like the threading on this was a little bit weird. And I do remember the owner mentioning something about threading. I cannot find the Reddit thread for the life of me. I think they had to rethread something, but a few of the screws were just way too loose, so I did have to kind of force some screws in there, which you typically don't want to do with polycarbonate, but we did do that. Other than that, I really like this. I believe they're running another round of this, I think. I'm not too sure, but it is a fantastic case. Again, I am in love with the way this looks. I love the way that this is kind of seated in two different ways over here, so you can kind of see the brass weight in two different layers, being underneath the polycarbonate and then above it. I think this looks fantastic, and I am hugely in love with this. And I love the red PCB as well. I do wish I picked one up with underglow, but they didn't have any available. And by the way, guys, if you guys do want to see more builds like this beautiful white and red key cult over here, check out my Twitch channel. It is Alex Odos on Twitch, so twitch.tv/AlexOdos. We do tons of live builds there, as well as a cool amount of giveaways from time to time. I know we just gave away a Gengar keycap, which I thought was pretty awesome. But if you guys do want to see some more of that, by all means, tune in, check out. We also have an Instagram account where we post tons, I mean tons of photos, as well as we check out really fun things that are keyboard related, like this beautiful artisan keycap puller, which is beautiful and honestly matches my colors very well. But yeah, if you guys do want to check it out, by all means, that would mean the world to me. And the other thing too, guys, if you guys like the desk pad, this is live, I believe, for one last day on TKC, so the key.company. I'll leave a link for this in the bottom down below as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do plan on doing more content, like for example, keycap reviews. We're going to be bringing those back very soon, I promise you guys. But for now, we are just going to be sticking to some of these build reviews due to time constraints. Working a job and doing content creation sometimes proves to be a little bit tasking. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. I hope you guys have a great day.